29 years ago, on June 9th, 1995, 6-year-old Morgan Nick went missing while playing with friends at a Little League baseball game in Alma, Arkansas. She was last seen about 10:45 p.m. emptying sand out of her shoes near her mother's car. Her friends reported seeing a creepy man talking to Morgan. When Morgan's mom went to check on her, she was gone. To this day, Morgan nor her remains have been found. In November of 2021, the FBI listed Billy Jack Links as a possible suspect into the kidnapping of Morgan Nick. The release said that the troubling mystery of Morgan Nick missing has still never been solved, and the person responsible for taking Morgan has never been identified. But today, law enforcement may be closer than ever to identifying this person based on their ongoing investigation. So they are seeking information about Billy Jack Links. Approximately 2 months after Morgan's disappearance, Links attempted to abduct a young girl at a Sonic in Van Buren, which was only about 8 miles from the Wolford baseball field where Morgan was last seen. When the little girl was almost kidnapped, a witness wrote down a license plate number. However, the number that they were given did not match any vehicles that were registered in Arkansas. So detectives thought that possibly some of the numbers had been transposed. So they just kept switching the numbers around until they finally got a hit. And that led them back to Billy Links. Links was arrested and charged in the attempted kidnapping of the little girl. The description that was given of the man was that he was a white male, approximately 47 years of age, with a black and gray beard, sandy brown hair, saggy cheeks, a red ball cap, brown uniform type shirt with a patch on the right chest, and driving a newer model red Chevrolet pickup. A red truck was captured on camera when Morgan went missing. However, the truck involved in Morgan's kidnapping was a red Chevy pickup truck with a white camper shell on it. This truck did not have a camper shell on it. Back in 1995, police went door to door in Links' neighborhood. They did speak to a neighbor that thought that he had had a camper shell on his red pickup truck, but it had been about 2 months since they had seen it on the truck, which would have been around the time that Morgan went missing.
Detectives went home to home in 1995 talking with Links' neighbors. One telling an investigator he thought Links had a camper shell on his red pickup. It was just last year, Alma police released this photo, a red pickup truck with a camper shell. Officers believe the driver is Morgan's abductor. Johnson says some characteristics of the truck and of Links may fit with what happened in Alma.
The blood evidence that was recovered from Links' truck was last known to be used in a separate criminal case. Supposedly in September of 1995, there was talk about sending a piece of the evidence to the FBI. However, the state crime lab says that they do not have that evidence on file. Alma police says they do not have it. And the FBI, well, they just say no comment.
Arkansas's DNA technology started coming online in 1995, about the same time the crime lab confirmed blood on Links' truck seat, and that it's been retained for consideration of possible future analysis. So where is the blood? And could it offer any insight into Morgan's case? State police says it was last known to be potentially used in a separate criminal investigation. A spokesman says on September 20th, 1995, investigators talked with the crime lab about sending one particular piece of evidence to the FBI's lab, so it could be compared to another case. But no mention at all of Morgan. Sources say the blood sample is not at the crime lab. Alma's police chief says it's not at his department. And the FBI, 2 words, no comment.
Back in 1995, the law in Arkansas did not require agencies to keep evidence from some crime scenes, including kidnappings. That law has since been changed, and in 2011, they were required to start keeping everything. Links does have a criminal history of SA and trying to abduct other little girls. In 1992, Links was convicted of SA and sentenced to 6 years in prison. However, he would not serve all of his time. He was arrested and sentenced to time in jail. However, Links died in prison in 2000. It wasn't until 2021 that the FBI listed him as a suspect in Morgan's case. The blood DNA collected from Links' truck apparently is missing. Nobody seems to have it, and it cannot be tested to confirm if it was Morgan. At the time that evidence was collected from Links' truck, DNA testing was pretty new. The person of interest passed away several years ago, so even if we determine that he was the perpetrator, he's not going to be able to give us information on where Morgan is.
I mean, we have to fight for her.
We are looking for you so hard so you can come home.
After Morgan went missing, her mother Colleen realized that there needed to be some kind of resource for parents whose children go missing, and in 1996, the Morgan Nick Foundation was launched. The Morgan Nick Foundation provides a support network to Arkansas parents and families of missing children and adults. They provide free education to teach safety skills about abduction and prevention education to children, parents, teachers, and others in the community. The Morgan Nick Foundation believes to reduce the number of child abductions in the future, we must educate our children and empower them with the skills necessary to protect them from predatory abduction. We can make a difference one child at a time. Their mission statement states, dedicated to preventing crimes against children and adults through programs that educate, empower, and unite families and communities. If you have any information regarding this case, please call the Alma Police Department at 479-632-3333 or the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at 1-800-THE-LOST. You can also help with the education programs through the Morgan Nick Foundation by going to morgannickfoundation.com.
As one day,
someone will say the right thing at the right time.
the right pieces of the puzzle will come together,
The FBI, I know they have my field notes.
and the case will eventually be solved.